The 7 years of plenty came and went, and now was the time for the 7 years of famine, as as Joseph had told Pharaoh. And people were starting to show up in Egypt. Not only the Egyptians, but people from all around there were starting to show up at the granaries and the silos that Joseph had built for the distribution of corn. So not only were the Egyptians, like I said, showing up, but so were the surrounding countries, including Jacob, also known as Israel, for the food. Anyway, here we go. Chapter 42, King James Version, Book of Genesis. Now when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, Why do ye look one upon another? And he said, Behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get you down hither, and buy for us from thence, that we may live and not die. And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt. But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Jacob sent not with his brethren, for he said, Lest peradventure mischief befall him. And the sons of Israel came to buy corn among those that came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan as well. Verse 6. And Joseph was the governor over the land, and he it was that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them, and spake roughly unto them. And he said unto them, Whence come ye? And they said, From the land of Canaan, to buy food. And Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew not him. And Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them, and said unto them, Ye are spies. To see the nakedness of the land ye are come. And they said unto him, Nay, my lord, but to buy food are thy servants come. We are all one man's sons. We are true men. Thy servants are no spies. And he said unto them, Nay, but to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. And they said, Thy servants are 12 brethren, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and one is not. Meaning, one of them had died, but they didn't know who they were standing in front of. And Joseph said unto them, That is it that I spake unto you, saying, Ye are spies. Hereby ye shall be proved. By the life of Pharaoh's ye shall not go forth hence, except your youngest brother come hither. Send one of you, and let him fetch your brother, and ye shall be kept in prison, that your words may be proved, whether there be any truth in you. Or else by the life of Pharaoh, surely ye are spies. But before I start verse 17, I'm wondering if in Joseph there was bitter and anger towards his brother for what they had done to him. Well, let's find out. Verse 17. And he put them all together into ward 3 days. And Joseph said unto them the third day, This do, and live, for I fear God. If ye be true men, let one of your brethren be bound in the house of your prison. Go ye, carry corn for the famine of your houses, but bring your youngest brother unto me. So shall your words be verified, and ye shall not die. And they did so. And they said one to another, We are verily guilty concerning our brother, and that we saw the anguish of his soul. They're talking about Joseph when they sold him as a slave to the merchants going into Egypt. When he besought us, and we would not hear, therefore is this distress come upon us. And Reuben answered them, saying, Spake I not unto you, saying, Do not sin against the child, and ye would not hear? Therefore, behold, all his blood is required. And they knew not that Joseph understood them, for he spake unto them by an interpreter. And he turned himself about from them and wept. He cried. Joseph cried as he heard his brothers arguing over Joseph, who they thought had died, and returned to them again, and communed with them, and took from them Simeon, and bound him before their eyes. Then Joseph commanded to fill their sacks with corn, and to restore every man's money into his sack, and to give them provision for the way. And thus did he unto them. And they laded their asses with the corn, and departed thence. And as one of them opened his sack to give his ass provender in the inn, he espied his money. For behold, it was in his sack's mouth. And he said unto his brethren, My money is restored, and lo, it is even in my sack. And their hearts failed them, and they were afraid, saying one to another, What is this that God hath done unto us? And they came unto Jacob, their father, unto the land of Canaan, and told them all that befell unto them, saying, The man who is the Lord of the land spake roughly to us, and took us for spies of the country. And we said unto him, We are true men, we are no spies. We be 12 brethren, sons of our father. One is not, and the youngest is this day with our father in the land of Canaan. And the man, the Lord of the country, said unto us, Hereby shall I know that ye are true men. Leave one of your brethren here with me, and take food for the famine of your households, and be gone. And bring your youngest brother unto me. Then shall I know that ye are no spies, but that ye are true men. So will I deliver your brother, and ye shall traffic in the land. Amazing story. I love this story. And it came to pass, as they emptied their sacks, that behold, every man's bundle of money was in his sack. And when both they and their father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid. And Jacob their father said unto them, Me have ye bereaved of my children. Joseph is not, and Simeon is not, and ye will take Benjamin away. All these things are against me. And Reuben spake unto his father, saying, Slay my 2 sons, if I bring him not to thee. Deliver him into my hand, and I will bring him to thee again. And he said, My son shall not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he is left alone. If mischief befall him by the way, in the which ye go, then shall ye bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave. And that concludes chapter 42. As always, if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. And I'm touched by this story. I must have read the Bible so far maybe a dozen times, and that does not mean that I know the Word of God by any stretch of the imagination. But there are some stories in this book, or the collection of books really, that really struck a chord with me. And the story of Joseph and how the children of Israel ended up surviving the famine is one of them. Whether it be this chapter or one of the following chapters, I'm going to leave you a documentary in the description below, where one of Ron Wyatt's friends, Henry Groover, ended up going down to Egypt with Ron Wyatt. And I'm going to tell you the story, and then eventually I'm going to give you the documentary in one of these chapters. You'll have to look for it. And they went down to Egypt, and the director of antiquities of Egypt, or in charge of all the excavations and whatnot, took a liking of Ron Wyatt, him being an archaeologist also, and had showed him where the warehouses with all the artifacts that spoke of Joseph and a famine and all that he had done for Pharaoh in the land of Egypt, all the hieroglyphs and all the paintings and all the murals and all that stuff, showed all that to him. But it was hidden from the Egyptian people for the simple fact that the reigning or ruling religion in Egypt is Islam, or they're all Muslims, and so Christianity doesn't exactly fit the bill, or it doesn't exactly. It would jeopardize the country. In other words, it would make things really bad, and there would be instability. There would be instability because of it. And there's another case somewhere else where the same thing happens. It's in Saudi Arabia, but when we get there, we'll talk about it. So yeah, I love my Lord, brothers and sisters. I truly do. And this is one of the stories that really softens my heart. And then, brothers and sisters, I leave you. And I wish you peace of the Lord be with you. And we'll see you next time.